Are we ready? Oh, okay. Great, thanks. Okay, tonight, this is the Conservation Commission meeting for Wednesday, December 15th, 2010. We'll start with a roll of attendance.
Collis Adams, alternate.
Nick Campusano, Selectman Rep.
Kimberly Peace.
Amy Pollock, Jean Walker.
Patty Gale staff.
All right, thanks. We're going to start with Ray Tabor. I told Ray I'd let him jump in first since he's the town volunteer tonight. So we're going to, Ray has been working on some of the trails up on the Uncanunic Mountain, and he had sent me an email or a discussion regarding moving one of the signs that says lookout, and then where the lookout is, it's overgrown. Is that correct? So let me let you go ahead and talk about this. So.
I've got a couple maps that hopefully will orient you folks to what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Wallace has got his already. Maybe you two can share.
Yeah.
What I'm seeking to do is move a sign that says viewing area, and it's on the incline trail right now.
Okay.
About 4 minutes down from the top of South Uncanonic Mountain. And my reason for getting your okay on this is that that location over the years is severely grown up.
Mm-hmm.
There's almost no view. On the Walker Trail, which is marked with a B, is a tremendous view. Corliss has checked it out. I saw his email. And there's a beautiful view of Manchester and all the way to the seacoast on a good day.
Oh.
So the existing sign that says viewing area that is near the incline trail, now I would like to move to the better view.
Okay. Okay. I didn't go up there. Collis went up there.
Yeah. What I didn't understand is you're talking about an older sign that was farther up from the sign that says directs you onto the Walker Trail. So you think that sign is in the wrong place.
Well,
It's too far up because people will miss the opportunity to go onto the Walker Trail.
yes, and when they come to that sign that says viewing area,
Yeah.
which has been there for a long, long time, there is no
Yeah.
view there.
Okay. Jean?
The trees have just grown up over the years.
Jean?
And my intent was not to make a federal case out of it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because,
Mine
because
either.
Ray's doing great work.
Yes.
My concern was, the Conservation Commission oversees the town-owned property up there.
Right.
And I want to make sure that when trail signs are put up, that there's some oversight. So we don't end up with a state park. This is a rock, this is a tree.
Right.
It's so that we keep it an outdoor experience as we can. And that's all. You do great work, and that wasn't meant to be criticized
No,
in the good work that you do. Just that I think we need to think about how we oversee the placement of signs up there in general, so that it doesn't become a state park. And this is intended to be, this is supposed to be a semi-wilderness experience for
Right.
people in the greater Manchester area to come to the Uncanunics and hike in the wilderness, be out there in the woods, and not be bombarded by signs, that's all.
Right.
yeah, my intent was not to add a sign, it's just move an existing sign.
Yeah.
Okay. Jean?
And I just wanted to come back and bring it back to the full commission
Okay.
because, I'm only one person. We don't
Right.
take action independently.
Right.
And I don't mean to take up your time tonight.
No.
As I said, you're doing great work, but just want to make sure that the commission is aware of what's going on. That's all.
Okay. Jean?
I'm quite familiar with the Walker Trail.
I'm sure you are.
And for me, I don't know. Is that? I assume it's part of your family, but how is
My
that?
son's Eagle Project.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And there was a viewing area.
At the time,
At
how
the time.
many years ago was that?
Let's see, probably 20,
20, yeah.
maybe 19, 20?
But by the size of the trees,
Right, and so
Wow.
there was a
It's been a
viewing,
while.
and there were other signs farther down on the trail.
On the
that-
Walker Trail?
Yes, but they were removed because people at the area didn't like them there. They were nice because they set up, but there are places farther down that sign could be placed.
Yes, I know, and that place is also grown up.
I-
so
yeah.
there's no view.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
It was well, Dave Burrow had a lot to do with helping him put it through there,
Wow.
because it was from scratch.
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Oh, so they cut the viewing area.
Yes, they got the
Wow.
whole trail and
Oh.
the viewing area.
Wow.
It was
Yeah.
like a couple-year project, it wasn't an
Wow.
overnight one, like some of them are.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Okay, well, do you want to make a motion to approve Ray to move the
Yeah, let
sign?
me just say, I think if there's a need to make improvements on the trail system in general, maybe an annual plan to say, here's where we want to clear, here's where we want to put signs. Maybe that's over the top, I don't know. Because you do a lot of work and,
I'm open to all suggestions, so, I've done a lot of hiking over my years, and I know what clutter can be, you
yeah.
know, I don't want too many signs, but there's no need for that one there where there is no need.
Yeah, okay, let's be done.
Are you the originator of goffstonetrails.com? Who posted
I-
and created this site?
You can blame me for that, yeah.
I was just curious. I've seen this a while ago, and it's people ask me all the time for a trail map, and I send them to this one online.
Absolutely.
If you guys don't know, this one's online.
Kim Rexford,
goffstowntrails.com.
Mhm.
I haven't seen this view, I've been up there, and I've always been like, where's the view? All I see is trees, so.
Kim Rexford, the webmaster, AMC, helped us with that site.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, we don't have any organized system at this point. It's
No.
probably something that we should, and I know that there had been talk about creating a trail committee. I know Jim was a big proponent of that, and I haven't seen any grassroots movement to have that fully fleshed out at this point, but it would be nice to have something. Oh, we're hiding. We're over here. Come on in. Yeah. So I make a motion to approve Ray to move the sign. Okay. Gene will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay, motion carried. And thank you very much,
Yeah,
Ray,
thank
for
you,
your
Ray.
time tonight and for doing the
Appreciate it.
efforts for this trail.
No problem. One other point, and I think it's kind of important. Several weeks ago, you had a meeting, and the new Parks and Rec director was here, and gave his ideas on the unbeknown mountains. And I think some of the commission members may have got the wrong impression from what he was talking about. He was talking about developing trails on the mountain. Developing an interest in and use of, but not cutting trails. And I think Evelyn, for one, got the wrong impression.
Okay.
Because she was talking about, and worrying about trails on private land. All of these trails, or 98% of the trails on that map, hiking trails, are either on water precinct land or town of Goffstown conservation land. So, but it's an interest in and use, not cutting.
Of existing trails. Okay, good. And we always like to promote the trails because that brings people to town, so that's a good thing. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Thank you for coming tonight. Okay, so, sorry for skipping over you. We'll go back to discussion with, is it Joel?
Yep.
Joel Bergeron, it's 38 Riverview Park Road regarding minimum expedited permit, map 43, lot 4. Rebuild access stairs to the river.
Nick, I think what the one Collis gave you, you might want to give it to Kim. That's actually one of them that needs to get signed if you choose the
Right.
minimum expedited permit.
The color.
Right, we actually signed that one.
Did you get one mail? Okay, then the one you have, yeah, one of them I have to get back for her
Okay.
to sign if
Yep.
you choose.
Okay.
Well, assuming we need to sign it. but-
If you do.
I didn't bring my
actually-
packet.
I have them all from the town clerk's office.
Oh, you have all 5, so you made additional copies?
No, well, for them through, that I mailed, but I kept this for,
If we sign it tonight, we sign all 5 copies.
yeah.
Okay, because I made a mistake, I didn't realize I only needed 1, so I ran out of 5 and it took hours.
Well, actually, no,
Printer.
she needs that many. 'cause
She does
goes
need
through
5.
The town clerk
But she still
does.
has this.
She gave them all to me.
Oh.
I have them all, I even have your check.
Well, let's talk
I
about this
hope
first.
they-
I'm not even sure he needs to be here, but let's talk about it.
All right. You want to let the applicant speak?
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
Well, thank you for having me here. Again, my name's Joel Bergeron. The intent is to rebuild the stairs, repair, rebuild, whatever the correct terminology is. As you can see in the, hopefully you all have that photograph there. There is evidence of stairs that were there previously. So there's no expansion of the existing floor print. There will be no, what's the correct terminology? Impacts to surrounding embankments. I'm just using the area that's already existing. I'm not taking anything down, or if anything, I'd actually like to plant some stuff, to be perfectly honest. And just standard construction procedures. Happy to answer any of the
Now,
questions.
let me ask you a couple of questions. How wide's the stairway gonna be?
40 inches.
Okay? It's gonna be built on existing footings? You're not gonna disturb the banking? You're not gonna dig it, excavate it? You don't need a permit at all. I don't know.
Just doing what I'm told.
Well, I'm not sure who gave you guidance on this.
Just doing what I'm told, so.
If you go to 442A, RSA 42A, you look at the definitions, it talks about structures. And the definition of a structure, and it specifically exempts stairways leading down to the water if they don't exceed 6 feet in width and you don't disturb the soil.
Is this through DES?
Yes.
I gotta be honest, I tried my best to navigate through all the documents
Okay,
available.
did you speak with anybody at DES, or did you?
I did, and
you have
to be perfectly honest, I spoke with Emily, I believe her name was Emily, one of the inspectors,
Yeah.
and it was very, I didn't get a clear response after several phone calls, speaking to 2 or 3 different
Okay.
people, and I just said, don't wanna get in trouble, so I'm gonna do whatever I have to.
DES regulates dredge and fill and structures over areas in jurisdiction, which includes banks. If you go to 482A and you look at the definition of structures, it specifically exempts stairways on the banks as long as they don't exceed 6 feet in width and you don't disturb the soil on the bank. In other words, there's no potential for erosion or disturbance of the banks. You're less than 6 feet wide, you're using existing footings, you're going down, you're not going into the water, I presume.
No, that's cantilevered over, it's a fairly steep embankment.
And that's included in the new shoreline protection regs as well?
He is
that
applying for a shoreline permit application to that, I got a copy of in the mail,
Okay.
for your deck, right?
That's a
Oh.
separate,
That's
that's a
separate.
completely
Separate issue?
thing.
Yeah.
That's totally different.
This is a wetlands jurisdiction.
Okay.
Okay, if you need a wetlands permit, it covers the shoreline
Okay. Right.
statute.
Right.
And I'm here to tell you, you don't need a permit to do this.
Okay.
Oh, I can get a refund somewhere. I already sent the money in, so.
Well,
Well, I have,
I,
We know a few people
At the end.
can help out.
Okay.
you know, I saw this and I thought, what, I don't understand, because they're, like I say, it's
No.
specifically exempted in the statute. This is in law, not rule, that you're exempt if it's less than 6 feet wide, don't disturb the soils. Even if it's new construction, you're only building on existing footings.
Right.
That's an even better situation.
Well, if, say, for instance, we investigate further and the footings need to be replaced, would that cause a different situation?
You know what?
That's
We,
why.
we got better things to do at DES than worry about somebody replacing a footing that's already existing. The intent here is, don't disturb the soils that has the potential to create a water quality violation in the river.
Sure. I agree.
And that's what it's all
100%.
about.
Okay.
So,
So what should I do?
well, I have a check.
Well,
You know what?
Well, how do I get Derek Horn to say, okay, just, it's a building department issue at this point, and, you know, make sure it's done up to code? Because that was,
Well-
when I spoke to him, he was like, you know, you need to investigate this further with DES and ensure that it's not, you know, it's in compliance with all the various rules and so forth, so.
I have it on pretty good support, that it complies with it, and you don't need a permit for it.
Okay, well, that's good, that's $200 I can save.
Yeah, so there's the check, you don't even need, it hasn't been
I
cashed yet.
work with Derek and I can relay it to him,
Yeah.
that it was
Okay.
And you
determined
can
it's
call
not
me.
necessary for you to go to DS for the stairs.
Okay.
Under RSA 42A.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's great,
Specifically,
Derek.
the definitions, if you look at the definition of a structure, it specifically exempts stairways. As well as landings, by the way.
Well,
10
thank
by
you for the
20.
Christmas
What?
gift, the early one.
Merry Christmas.
Should we talk about the deck while we're here? Has that come through?
Well, that's a
Is that
different issue, it
us?
sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah,
Where's the deck?
That one's a regular
He's,
permit?
yeah,
I don't know.
that's the
That's a
shoreline where they
shoreline
just, we don't get copies other than they mail you a letter saying.
Well, where's the deck gonna be?
It's off of my existing home.
So it's above the top of bank.
Yeah, the way that if you refer to the tax map, it's, make it a little bit easier to see. My property is situated such that I have a small
Thank you.
strip which, the reference line is abutting to the small strip, and then there's the actual street, and then my home is set back on the remaining parcel. And then the deck would be off the front of the residence.
Over here?
Nope, actually it would be,
On the other
Right
side
here.
of the road.
right there. So this is the front of the home. and
Oh, this is the hill coming down.
Yeah, yep, and this
Down
is
to the river.
Riverview Park
Yeah,
Road
yeah,
right
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So I'd be right here. It's just a
Yeah.
16 by 10
Yeah.
foot deck, so.
Yeah, that's a shoreline
Correct.
issue. Yeah.
And that's like submitted that as a second thing. Is that something that the committee has to review as well? or-
Nope.
No.
Nope.
We don't? Good.
Appreciate your concern for the environment.
All right,
but
there
you're
you go.
doing the
You
right
can hand
thing.
that
I'm just trying to follow the rules.
There we go.
And we appreciate that.
Well, wonderful. So
I
guess
even
we're
have
all
your
set.
FedEx envelope upstairs.
Wonderful, great.
Do you
Good.
want that back?
Well, I just need to send it, I don't need to send anything. I
No,
guess, right?
that's, there's
No.
your check, there's your copies.
Good, wonderful.
Yeah, that I
Just go stop
I'm
and talk
keeping
to
one
Jared.
Yeah.
copy.
I'll get going on
Yeah.
the building
Wait a
permit.
minute.
And if he's got questions, have him call me.
I'm
Okay.
just gonna keep one, I'll keep Collis's copy.
Here, do you want this?
You can
Yeah.
have one.
Yeah.
And Collis, why don't we weigh in on the shoreland issue?
I
Don't-
don't believe there's
We don't
a
review
provision in the
shorelands?
statute that allows you to do that.
Okay, because the letter says that the municipality has to be notified, but we don't weigh in on it?
Well, we have to be notified,
Okay,
but I don't think
But
the
we don't
statute
comment.
allows us an opportunity to provide input as it does with the wetlands
Oh.
statute.
okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Shoreline,
Thank you.
state only.
When it's just shoreland but not any jurisdictional wetlands.
Okay.
Interesting. I
I
wasn't
learned
aware of that.
something
I know. I should know better too.
I'll let Derek know tomorrow. I'll let
Great.
Derek know
Thank you.
tomorrow. We
Good.
work in the same office.
Good, great.
So you,
Good.
That's good news.
and if, like I said, if you want your FedEx, envelope, I have that too.
I don't think the post office will refund
Okay.
anybody.
That's the home phone.
Is that the one, notice of acceptance of shoreland permit application, map 9, lot 1? No, that's different, sorry, East
That one
Dunbarton
just
Road.
came in, so I just put it with his application where it was coming in.
Okay,
Nice to see you.
great.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay,
All right, well, thank you
All
for
right.
your time. Hope you have a good evening.
Oh,
Take
you're
care.
welcome. Merry Christmas.
As long as you check, it's only, it's just barely on there.
I'll shred that right now.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Somebody looks happy. No, it doesn't happen.
Happy, yeah.
Okay, moving on. Finance and budget. Kim is not here tonight, so I guess I'll cover that. The current balance for the Conservation Commission current use fund is $281,863.71. Previous balance was $281,844.10.
Making
in-
money hand over fist.
I
on
know,
it.
interest paid $19.61. The conservation budget balance is currently at $2,680.23. So, the issue came up about the dues owed for the New Hampshire Association of Conservation Commissions. We owe them $525 for the 2010 year. It is in our budget, right? Yes, it is in our budget. We didn't pay it one year and then we back paid, so, and then there was a little confusion, so we still owe the 2010 bill. And then the 2011 bill comes due in April, I believe. So, I know there was a discussion before, I don't remember who initiated it, about, gosh, that seemed like a lot of money, we don't get any value out of it. So the question on the table is, should we pay it? Collis, I know when this was brought up, you said that you think we get a lot of value out of it. Kim and I typically go to the annual association meeting. I don't know, so let's open the floor for a discussion of if we should pay this. Collis, why don't you lead if you think we should pay it?
I think we should.
Okay?
You know, I think it's a great organization. There's a lot of information that you can get from that organization. If we don't take advantage of it, then shame on us. But it's there, it's available to us. You know, Goffstown has always been on the forefront of conservation issues. And not to belong to an organization like this, just, I think, hurts our credibility a little bit. You
Okay.
know, and I think, again, they're resources. We can call upon them if we have questions, and we need information, draw upon the data that they have available to us. I just think it's a good thing to do. And it's not a lot of money. We don't have a big budget.
Right.
It's a small part of our budget, and I think it's money well spent.
Okay. David?
I agree with everything Collis just said, and I'd also like to say that we're using it more than you may think, because I contact them all the time.
Good.
That's especially when on conservation issues and projects are a really valuable resource.
Okay.
I've had questions sometimes, like, I'm not sure how this works, call them up.
Good.
It's really helpful.
Okay, I know Susan had said that she also has used their website and gotten information. So, does anyone else want to comment on it?
I'm in agreement.
Okay, make a motion, someone make, I'll make a motion that we, pay the 2010 New Hampshire Association of Concom dues for $525 from our operating budget. So,
One second.
David seconds, all those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, open space. Would you like to provide an open space committee update?
The Open Space Committee did meet last week. We do have a project to discuss, but we're in the middle of some sensitive negotiations. We hope to be able to have more open forum very soon, but in the meantime, I requested a closed session at the end of this meeting, because this is a land issue, and give more information at that time.
Okay, great. All right, minutes of November 17th meeting. I reviewed them and sent my edits back to Patty. So I think they look okay. Did anybody else read them? Review them?
Yeah.
Okay, somebody make a motion to accept them?
Motion to accept?
One second, Jean seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
And abstain.
Oh, David abstains. Okay, correspondence. Looks like we have, where's our pile? Oops, sorry. I'm zooming through here tonight.
I know. Oops, actually.
We get notifications for subsurface disposal system? What is that? What is the subsurface disposal system?
Septic system.
Oh, all right, sorry, don't let me jump ahead, hang on. Let's go through this. Notice of acceptance for shoreland permit application, map 9, lot 107, 110 East Dunbarton Road. So it says, the application requests a permit for impacts to jurisdictional shoreland at the subject property. A detailed technical review will be completed. Pursuant, the application is required to notify the municipality and provide a completed and signed copy of the permit application. Please provide a copy of this notice to all interested departments, boards, and commissions. So if we have local issues, they should be addressed at the local level, but not through shoreland. So, and this is Blackbriar Woods, map 9. Wait, are these the same, Patty, or?
No, they're all different. You should have one for
Sorry,
East
my
Dunbarton
bad.
Road, one for Blackbriar.
Okay, so so do we know what they're doing then at 110 East Dunbarton Road?
Does it say in the letter you got?
It doesn't. This is just what we got from DES. So we don't actually have their application.
No.
All right. But we do regulate impacts to our shoreline with it. That's within our wetland conservation district. So we should be seeing a plan through planning, maybe? Have we seen this through planning?
Mm,
I mean, unless it's so
I don't
small
think
that it's
so.
not coming through
Yeah,
planning.
Yeah.
Huh.
We don't know what they're doing.
Right. So it just says notice of acceptance of permit application. Please be advised that they received a permit for the subject property. It doesn't list the impacts or what it's for. It says, Meridian Land Services. So,
That's it?
Well, you can always go on the website and find out what they're doing and
Yeah.
give you the information. That's what me and Derek do a lot, we go on the website.
all right. I will check it out and find out, just so we know what it is that they're doing, because they may not be aware that if they have shoreline impacts, they also need to talk to us. So, unless it's small, I guess. So, okay, We have notice of alteration.
Or outside our jurisdiction.
Or, that's right,
Our
there,
ordinance, I should say.
yes. Because but our conservation district, the surface water conservation
It's
district.
100 feet.
Is 100 feet.
Right.
Right. Oh, yeah,
But
you're
this
right.
is
But the
250 feet,
right,
so-
shoreline is 250 feet.
It may not even be an issue
Oh.
we need to do.
Good point. That may be why we're not getting any information. Okay. So we have an alteration of terrain permit for Blackbriar Woods, map 9, lots 33, 7, 45, and 60. It says no construction activity shall occur until a wetland permit is obtained. This is just for alteration of terrain. So, we've certainly seen enough of that project.
And they have to do all this as part of their approval for the subdivision.
Right.
And if you want, while we're on this, the selectmen need a formal recommendation on accepting the ownership of the open space. I forwarded the email to everyone, so
Right. Accepting ownership of the open space.
ownership,
Right.
the PLCs and oversee.
There was much discussion before the Board of Selectmen as to whether or not the town should accept the parcel, the open space parcel,
Okay.
fee simple ownership,
Mhm.
or should it be a homeowners association
Right.
that takes the open space? And I think we've weighed in on this, and I think it clearly, and I don't mean to speak for the commission, but it's my recollection that our position clearly was that it should be acquired by the town with a conservation easement over it that's held by and administered by the Piscataquag Land Trust. I think that was our preference.
Right.
And I think the Board of Selectmen, and Nick can correct me if I'm wrong, is looking for our recommendation as to which way we prefer to go.
Right.
And we need to make a clear recommendation to the Board of Selectmen tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Is that accurate, Rick?
Yes.
Does that capture it?
Yeah.
Don't know that there was ever an actual memo or letter stating that specifically. That may be the issue. because
Okay.
Instead, individuals, we just went to the meetings to raise the issue, but not realizing that we should have an official memo.
Okay.
There's a lot of discussion. If you remember, there were some stormwater treatment ponds, detention basins, that were within the open space that was
Yes.
gonna be conveyed, and we talked about that.
Right.
And we discussed it at the Board of Selectmen's meeting on Monday night. Two options. Why don't we just change the line so that it goes around the detention basins, so it's not in the open space? That's one option. The other option is, when you form and you craft the language of the easement, you allow it to occur within the easement. To me, the cleaner way to do it is to move the line. Well, let's not even deal with it, you know?
Yeah,
So-
although I don't think that per se was the issue as much as it was who is going to be paying for the maintenance
Right.
of the easements. And it was really, it was something that was not clear because this was different. Forget the open space part for the moment and just focus on the drainage. Because we have these new buried drainage structures. Carl, and DPW, they're concerned about, well, this is gonna be more work, extra maintenance to do this. And the planning board was concerned about that too. I mean, it was discussed at length there. And because this was something new, how do we deal with this? And they struggled with it, but in the end, they kind of punted on it and said, well, selectmen will figure it out and we'll get a recommendation from them whether they want to deal with this.
And I think that's what complicated the whole thing. It wasn't just a question of, do we accept the open space by, yes or no? The open space has these drainage structures, and even that was complicated because the drainage structures weren't simply drainage from the road. It was a combination of drainage from the road and also homes. So if we formed a homeowner association and they were responsible for the drainage structure, there would also be part responsibility of the town from our drainage. So it would never be a clear cut who's 100% responsible for it. So there were a number of issues that if by themselves could have been settled, but because they were all in one thing, they tended to complicate.
Although in reality, every right-of-way drainage is also draining off of properties too. You can drive down the road and it's draining the road, but it's most usually draining property as well. So it's just that this wasn't accounted for. This is an additional expense, and so I think it sort of ended up in correct me if I'm wrong, because it got kind of confusing towards the end, but I think it sort of ended up with the selectmen saying, okay, because this is in such a quagmire and such a mess, we're only going to accept it this time, but we want the planning board to address this issue and come up with a way in the development regs going forward, so that the next project, you know, there's a mechanism to help pay for the extra maintenance that these systems are incurring. So I don't know if there's anything, is there anything we can do on this committee just to also raise the issue and just say it's something we gotta deal with? I mean, that's the message that's gonna be coming back to planning from
From us.
the
But
selectmen.
in my opinion, two clearly different issues. One is land ownership, and the other is what do we do with our drainage
Right.
structures? And who's responsible for them, and the cost for maintaining them
Right.
out into the future.
You know, I wasn't,
You know, if the open space doesn't include the drainage structures, then it's somebody else's problem,
Right.
you know? And I have opinions on that, but it's a planning issue. And more than that, it's a policy issue within the town of Goffstown as to, do we continue to take on the financial burden of maintaining drainage structures for private development? But that's a whole separate issue. That's not really our purview here. I think what we need to focus on is the open space portion of this. And what do we think is right for the town of Goffstown? And again, my opinion is get the drainage structures out of it. Change the line that defines the open space so that the detention basins are not in the open space. And then the town, and I'm not trying to shift responsibility or anything, but it makes things clear. You know, we don't mix the two issues together. And I don't know that that's a burden on the developer. It's a change of a line on a plan. Instead of it going this way, you put a couple jogs in so it goes out and around the detention basin. The open space is clean. It's simple.
yeah, although once the decision was reached at the end, I don't know in this case if it really matters that much anymore if the lines are drawn. I know that in the first draft of the easement, it's already been taken into account to put in all the access rights and everything for the town to maintain it, so handling it that way is already started in progress. I mean, it's not like it's a big deal to change that either.
Right.
It's, if preferences are to go away, I'm sure it can be, but I don't think at this point it really matters that much.
My
What
point is
really
the
matters is
cleaner
that we
that
have a
you can
solution
make,
going
the
forward.
cleaner you can make the open space. And the
Yeah.
easement that's gonna be placed over the open space, and the enforcement of that easement, the easier it is. Because I'm sure the Piscataqua Land Trust doesn't want to have to deal with.
They actually don't care on that issue.
Well,
because it's,
they can say that until there's a problem with that detention basin or whatever, and it's sitting in the easement area. And they have to enforce it. I mean, they have to monitor it, they have to make sure there's no violations of the easement language, you know, and why add complexity when you don't have to?
yeah, the only other aspect that was brought up was that, I think Mr. Martell mentioned it, that the conditional improvement on that plan as drawn had already been made. So for them to redraw the line would require reopening of the planning board, because now it would be a different plan, which technically, I
Yeah,
guess.
you'd have to go
Yeah.
back to planning, because it changed the plan. That was conditionally approved.
I would hope that as a community, we could deal with that issue, which is not a big issue, fairly quickly, fairly expeditiously. I mean,
There's not a process to make a minor plan amendment like that.
Even if he amends it, you still have to go through a public hearing. It's not as costly, but you still, because you're changing the lines around that people were noticed on.
Well, I guess
And what's approved.
the real issue before us right now, what we have to determine is what we're stating in the memo to send back to the
Yeah.
selectmen. So whether we talk about moving the line or not,
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally don't care either way, and I don't think PLC cares either way. But again, it's up to us to decide as a group.
Well, so to clarify, if this drainage system is left in the easement, it becomes a town issue to maintain this as opposed to if we get it out?
It
No,
is either way.
It is either way.
At our meeting, we made it clear that we were going to accept the road and the associated drainage structures for this project if constructed.
Okay.
No matter which way it goes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Because the alternative, even if they had said, since they'd already agreed to accept the road, it would have been, the town accepts the road, but not the drainage, it would have been kind of an unprecedented mess too, that probably just would have ended up in an entanglement down the road. The real answer, I think, that, as everybody concluded in the selectmen's meeting, is, look, we've got to come up with policy going forward to get this right. It's just, if it's in limbo, and it's easy to see why it happened, since it's something different that came up, and that's when the problems arise, when something new comes along.
But that issue aside, I think the important point is that I think it's our position, at least from what I've heard, is that it's a nice piece of land. The town ought to acquire it in fee simple, with the understanding that PLT will hold an easement over it and enforce the provisions of the easement language. And also that the developer is gonna contribute some money towards the stewardship of it. $17,000, I think it was.
Yeah, developers taking
So I think if you put that
stewardship,
package
getting all the
together,
other things as
that's a
well.
great way to go.
Okay. All right, anybody else wanna comment? Amy, Jean?
I'm in agreement.
I'm sorry.
I'm in agreement, in what we were saying with, yes, the town should have ownership of it, and then
Mhm.
all of that, so if that's what's on the table, and we're not discussing the lot line adjustment at this point.
Okay.
And I don't know how we worded, but in the memo, I'd also like to mention that part of the rationale for doing it is that it provides a passive recreation area in the northeast corner of the town, which has been identified in our master plan as lacking any kind of public recreation areas, and there are action plans in the master plan to try to do things in that part of town, so it's actually helping fulfill that.
Would either one of you like to draft this memo, or do you want Patty to do it from her notes, or?
And then send it to the three of you?
Yeah, yeah, if you would, that'd be great.
Okay.
So would you, the first part of what you said and the second part of what you said, you want as the motion?
Yes.
It's getting us complex with the meetings, so.
You make a motion to
Sorry
the
about that.
selectmen to
What he
develop a
said.
memo through Patty, through Collis's comments and David's comments, that we should acquire the easement at
The land.
Blackbriar
We
Woods
should acquire the land.
Land.
Acquire the land.
PLC holding
With
fees.
with PLC holding the easement.
With the understanding that there will be a
Developer.
financial contribution
Financial contribution from the applicant
for stewardship of the.
for
easement.
stewardship of the plan.
Collis made the motion.
Okay, somebody second?
David?
Second.
David second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
What made
Okay.
you so sure I was gonna vote for it?
She wrote the second part.
Okay. Good, all right. Moving right along. Okay, we've got a notification of a 5-year extension for the AOT for Woodland Village, map 487-6. So they're just extending their alteration terrain permit for 5 more years.
Where is that located?
This is Woodland Trust, Bog Road.
Bog, okay, thanks.
It's Bog Road. I don't think they've actually broken any ground, I don't know.
No, they have not.
No, they have not. So, and there are a big list of conditions. They also have water quality units and underground detention systems that DES has commented that they're going to watch closely. Maintenance logs, maintenance reports, semi-annual inspections. So DES wants to make sure those treatment devices are working, which is good. And the project is located to sensitive wetland resources, so they have to have a certified professional erosion and sediment control or a professional engineer to monitor and inspect once a week or during half-inch rain events, blah, 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 so.
So how was that one decided? Who's paying for the maintenance of that? Is that because it's not, is that not a town road? 'Cause
No,
it
it's
was
private.
Apartment units,
Yeah,
and that was the difference.
yep.
Yeah. Any maintenance recommended by the manufacturer which are more stringent than those listed below shall apply. And this is, if you remember, this is,
I think they're all within the site.
what was
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
It starts with an H, something, I don't know, one of those Vortechnic kind of systems, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Halotex, one of the trade names, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also because it was located next to the wetlands when they do so they have to monitor during rain events, monitor at least once a week to make sure that there's nothing going off into our wetlands.
But nothing's changed, they're just,
No,
Getting
nothing's
an
changed.
extension.
It's the same as it was before. Yes, thank you. Okay, DES notification this is interesting, this is kind of new. Subsurface Systems Bureau Individual Subsurface Disposal System. Crescent Lane, Goffstown, map 40, lot 3 and 4. Where's Crescent Lane?
must be
That's on
Jason.
down by the river, I'm guessing. No?
No, isn't that up by Mountain Base?
Yeah, it's not,
Yeah, it's
Crescent?
by Mountain
Crescent
Base.
Lane?
I think so.
Really?
Sounds familiar, map 40, that's up that area.
It says the applicant requests a permit to install a septic system at the subject property. We don't advise on septic systems, do we? Is this
No.
new?
No, they're starting to send us letters. I even
Oh.
got a letter regarding giving someone their liquor license.
Woohoo! Alrighty.
What do we do with this?
Okay, and then, so we got another one for 49 Tenny Road. This is a subsurface disposal system, 49 Tenny Road. Map 10, lot 12-2.
That's
So,
nice.
septic system, thank you.
Mhm.
Good to know. All right. Okay, other business, there's a discussion on the relief process with regards to the wetland, this is back to Patty, please. Wetland and Surface Water Conservation District. Carlos, I believe I had asked you to kind of initiate this, because we had some discussions about what was going on, how it was going through zoning, so why don't you go ahead and try to lead this?
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's clear that we need to have, I think, some conversation between the Conservation Commission, the Planning Board, and the ZBA as to what the intent of that ordinance is. Because it's my understanding that the plain language of the ordinance is clear. That if you want to do work in the outer 50 feet of the Wetland Conservation District, you need to prepare a report, or present a report, prepared by a certified wetland scientist, to us
Yes.
for review, give us 45 days to comment on the review,
Right.
and then make a recommendation to the planning board. Tony Martins came in and said, no, this is a zoning issue, we're requesting a variance of the entire zoning thing, including, so it overrides the whole intent of this. So, we need to clarify and make the process clear as to what's going on here. And I'm not sure how we do that. I'm not a lawyer, but I was very disturbed at that meeting to hear Tony Martz saying, well, so what, it says that. We're asking for a variance for all of that. And, you know, that wasn't the intent. And I think as a community, we need to communicate and coordinate better with one another as to what it is we're gonna do with that outer 50 feet.
And just,
You know, Tony Martz even said, well, the variance trumps anything the planning board can do. Whoa, whoa. That's not what
no.
the ordinance was intended to do. It was intended to provide the Conservation Commission an opportunity to provide comment to the planning board, and then the planning board would determine whether or not that outer 50 feet should be waived.
And that's how we've done it before. It's
Exactly.
new for anybody to try and say that. And it didn't, correct me, it did not pass zoning, or it did not?
It did not, that's my understanding.
No,
None
it
of-
did
none of
not.
passed.
It
Yeah.
did not. Now, does that mean then that what it means is that they can't do it, or it means they have to go through the planning process like we originally typically see it?
They vote on it?
They're gonna have to redo their plan. They didn't approve the variance for the frontage.
They didn't approve any of it, yeah.
And they said that that was under the planning board's jurisdiction.
Okay.
That's how they voted. And, they have to redo the plans. And they didn't go to planning, they took this chance going the way they did. And now, and Joe had said that at the last meeting, the reason why is because we'll have to redo the plans if we can't get
Okay.
the relief. And so,
Okay.
they'll have to do that now.
And I found it hard to make, how they make that argument, because one of the criteria in approving a variance is hardship. And if there is a method of relief, how do you prove hardship? In other words, you're trying to say to the zoning board, there's nothing else I can do but get a variance. Well, in reality, there is something else you can do. You can go to planning and get relief. If that fails, then I think the avenue would be to then go to zoning and say, now I have hardship, I couldn't get relief. I don't know how that would work, but.
And I agree with you, Nick, but clearly, when you looked at the faces of the members of the ZBA, they didn't know what to do. They had no clue what to do. And they got this attorney up there who's pounding them, threatening them with lawsuits, as
Right.
they tend to do. So
Well, I guess
it's
that's the-
something that needs to be looked at and clarified.
Right, that's the issue, where the process needs to be clarified, because we haven't had a hiccup like this before. The process has always been go through planning and then deal with it. And so where did this process differ, and how do we say, who do we tell Derek, they can't, we need to clarify that they can't do it this way, or do we need to clarify it with zoning, or do we need to change a reg? I mean, it's
But that's again-
it's
that's
ran
again
really well,
another
but.
catch-22, because you can only put those in your zoning ordinances,
Right.
and a variance is a legal method of getting a waiver from a zoning ordinance.
If it's not allowed, you ask for variance.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's what they
So
say.
it's difficult to put in those regs without having somebody challenge them.
And Derek's aware, I forwarded to him, but he's been sick this entire week, so that's why
Okay.
you don't have anything in writing from him.
Okay,
I gave you kind of my quick,
right.
because if it's not in there, that's what they do, and Tony is very much aware of the zoning ordinance and the process of
Yeah.
the zoning board, and that's how he chose to go first.
So does it get clarified with modification of the zoning ordinance?
I think what we need to do is request a meeting amongst the different boards, ZBA, Planning Board, Conservation Commission, to talk about it. Let's open up a dialogue. Let's discuss it. Let's figure out how to fix it.
Okay. All right,
We've got a problem here, let's figure out how to fix it. It shouldn't be that difficult.
okay.
Like a workshop? Like a
Sure,
workshop joint?
yeah.
Sure, let's send a memo inviting zoning and planning to find a way to have a workshop about this, sure. I mean, it's not a big issue, it shouldn't take long, and it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a workshop among the three of us anyway, or the three groups
About the-
anyway.
Each board's process.
Right. I mean, even if we don't get it until after voting, because God knows it gets really busy the next couple months, but it's good to think about placing something like that on the calendars.
Yeah, I'd recommend like after January.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that's a good idea, and then we can discuss, the process, so.
One thing, Carlos brought this up with planning board, some concerns with it. What they've asked is that we send the agendas and the minutes. So we're gonna do that to you, and I let Derek know, and he's gonna do the same for ZBA.
Okay.
Which I kinda do that anyway with you guys,
I usually read them, yeah. Okay.
so that will help. But we knew it would eventually come to planning too.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian was aware of the application, he reviewed it too.
Yeah, but if it comes to planning as a fait accompli, that everything's waived,
Well, just
Our
if they
hands are
approve it
tied.
doesn't necessarily mean planning has to approve the plan either. That's always been.
no, but if ZBA grants the variance that says they don't have to comply with the Wetland Conservation District portion of the variance, what's the planning board gonna do?
Right.
I mean, really,
Then how
it's-
do we keep them out of it?
Right.
Right.
So we set up this internal struggle, not intentionally, but it's happening and it needs to be addressed.
And lawyers will find a way to make us fight
Absolutely.
against each other.
What they get paid for.
Unity. Okay, so maybe so Patty's gonna send a memo and we'll try to get something
Yeah,
coordinated.
like a
Good.
workshop.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Or even like zoning meets, like the first Tuesday or something, or if we could go, I don't know. Anyway,
Thursdays
yeah,
are
like,
cool.
find,
Yeah, if we
find a
can
way
get
to
on their
coordinate.
agenda.
Yeah, if we wanna come to their agenda and get you or in planning, or if they wanna come and maybe, I don't know. Or we're not busy, they can come to one of our meetings.
I think perhaps an
Come to
informal
me.
workshop would be a
Yes.
better setting,
Okay,
so that, we're not coming in through anybody else's jurisdictional territory.
okay. All right, sounds good?
Yep.
Okay, we are going to go into a non-public session.
Let me get.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have to
do
say what
roll
it is
call.
and we have to roll call vote, right?
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
We'll do that first.
So we are going into a non-public session per RSA 91A3 2, item D. We're going to take a roll
For the
call.
purposes
Well, I'd
of-
like to make the motion
Oh, wait a minute.
that we go We have to make a motion.
We have to make a motion? Make a motion, David.
I make a motion that we go into non-public session under RSA 91A3 to item D to discuss land issue.
Okay, second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Do a roll
We need a
call.
roll call. Carlos Adams?
Aye.
Nick doesn't vote? David Eman?
Aye.
Kimberly Peace, aye?
Amy Pollock, aye.
Jean Walker, aye.
Okay. So we will now enter non-public session. Goodbye.
You can't be here. Sorry.
No, actually,
Is he
here?
he's here for the that discussion.
Okay. Sorry.
He's technically on this open space subcommittee, right? So he's allowed to be.
No, no, he's who we're working.
But I'm the party to the contract, so.
And he was with us the other evening.
Oh, I know who he is. I'm just trying to clarify myself. Yes.
No, for our non-public.
Right.
Oh, you didn't.
What?